Hello, everybody. Hopefully the mic didn't freak out this time. We had a last time we blew out everybody's speakers. It seemed like because we had a mic malfunction. Adam here.
Hey, it's Brady.
Thanks for joining us here on this lovely Saturday. We are going to be playing some Hour of Need. We had hoped that we would have the production copy before we started doing live streams. However, with everything that's going on, we've had delays and stuff like that with manufacturing process. So we're going to use this pre-production sample. This isn't final. There were some things that we changed to improve quality. We don't have all the miniatures. We're using some proxies. But overall,
most of the miniatures. We don't have duplicates.
Yeah. So we have most of everything, but just know that this is not what the final is going to look like. There's going to be some minor differences, especially like with the board and things like that. Cool. Everybody can hear us, and the volume's good, sounds good. We'll go ahead and get started. Apologize for this camera here in the way, but I feel like it's going to make for a better view for the overhead. So we'll show you what the board looks like here. And if everybody wants, we can also cut out this image if you guys just want to see just the overhead. But during setup, we'll just show you quickly how to set up a game, and Brady can give you an overview about this stage.
All right, so we're gonna play. We'll go through the whole setup so everyone knows. It's a good comprehensive view about how to set up a game. So the very first step in setting up is choosing your hero. So Adam chose Judge.
I'm playing as Judge from the Judge and Jury expansion. Let's see if I can pull up the card up here.
I figured I might as well play Jury, sidekick.
I didn't realize you were going to do that.
So we got Judge and Jury. You're going to place the double-sided hero card. There's a hero card and then a hero-focused side. Always play with the hero side face up, starting, focused face down. You're going to shuffle up your deck. You'll have 20 cards. Everyone has a 20-card deck unique to them. You shuffle those up. You draw 4 cards. You have a chance to mulligan if you want. I'm fine with my starting hand. And then everyone's going to get a turn card, double-sided turn card, just for reference. It'll start up on the villain turn side, and then you'll get 2 action tokens.
These are double-sided here, so you can flip over to show that you've gone.
And then we're going to choose our issue. So we're playing Automated Chaos.
Also, cool. You get your hero miniatures as well.
Sure. We do have the hero minis. So we're going to play Automated Chaos, and the little introduction here, we have your board, you have your deck for the chosen issue. You
didn't mess with these yet?
No, I'll this part of the setup, so I'll go after we choose the...
Disclaimer. I personally haven't played this game since it went to print. Brady has been having this copy at home playing a lot himself, so I'm going to defer to him on some rules things because I am very out of practice with this game. As you know, we work on lots of games. So I remember most of it, but I'm going to also let Brady specify all the rules and setup and everything like that.
So I have we don't have the printed rule book and issue guides. Those were still going. Those were proofed and everything. We're just waiting for the final copies. But I have the PDF here. So I'll read the introduction here in a second. But we'll start with setup. So every issue deck's going to have a double-sided issue card. Or not double-sided. It's a one side, but it's your setup. You put that over here and you follow any special setup instructions. Normally, it'll just remove a card from the deck. This one is the mainframe. This is a specific thing for this scenario or this issue. So remove the mainframe from the issue deck, put it in the issue play area, place 1 issue token in the BrinkBot space nearest the server room. So these BrinkBot spaces here, and the server room is the red scheme panel, so it's the scheme space here. So you put an issue token, and unless otherwise specified, issue tokens always get placed inactive. There's active and inactive. They always start inactive unless otherwise specified. Those are BrinkBots. Issue tokens are BrinkBots. So it has a base inflict value of 1 and 1 health and 1 defense. And they're essentially enemies. But we'll go over that with the introduction here. So the other part you do for normal issue setup is you remove any of the scheme cards from the issue deck. There's going to be usually 4. 4 is the standard, so every scheme panel is going to have a corresponding scheme card. You shuffle these up, and then every hero in the game is going to get 1 in their threat area. So I'll give Adam's getting that one, and I'm getting the control room.
Mine's the server room.
So the other ones are removed from the game; they're not used. So you place that in your threat area, and then the rest of these cards will just get shuffled up. And that is, oops, sorry, bumped the camera there. That is essentially the issue setup, but we'll do a little introduction here. So normally, if you choose to use the issue guide, it's purely optional. It's all thematic. It does have some clarifications in there for special rules. So if there's any kind of hedge cases, you'll usually find the ruling in the issue guide. So the introduction here is, Vivian looked up from the computer, spinning her chair around to see where the noise came from. The door to the office was still shut, and the janitor had left about an hour ago. She was alone in the lab, as far as she knew. And this wasn't the first time she had become paranoid while working late. She shrugged and rolled her chair toward the printer to reload it with paper. Click! She froze. This time she knew she heard something. "Hello, Dr. Graham," came a familiar mechanical voice. Vivian slowly spun her wheels to see the hulking form of Crabman opening the door to her office. "Paul, what are you doing here?" Memories flashed through her mind like a strobe light. Her younger brother running with her through the woods, competing against each other in the high school science fair, and Paul shattering her spine with one of those massive claws he now wielded. Crabman smiled. "You know, I don't like that name, sis. Now, how about you help me with those fancy suits your boss left you? I got a job my associates could use their assistance with." So now we look at our schemes. That's kind of like the general overview, but everyone has a specific scheme. So we'll start with the red one here, the server room compromised network. So you can read the little introduction to tell you kind of what that scheme is. So this Adams is Brink Labs has one of the city's largest independent networks, an intricate system created by Joshua Brink and his team to help automate the lab. Due to the nature of the government contracts that Brink Labs works on, security has always been the utmost priority. But unfortunately, since Joshua's disappearance, the mainframe security has become less scrutinized, leaving it open for malicious attacks. And Joshua Brink, for anybody who knows any of the backstory, is Micro Guy from the base game. So this is kind of his laboratory. Joshua Brink's been missing. And then we have the, what's that one called?
Control room?
Reprogramming.
Reprogramming.
Vivian watched in horror as Crabman's goons easily hacked into the Brink lab mainframe where the remote programming for Brinkbots could be accessed. How? She thought to herself. They must have gotten to Joshua somehow. There's no way they should be able to reprogram his creations. Even as she speculated, the sound of the Brinkbots powering up in the main lab could be heard. These can't fall into the wrong hands, Vivian thought desperately, wondering how she could stop it from happening. So those are all the kind of just flavorful introductions.
This little skull icon here, this means the card goes into your threat area. A lot of cards in this game are just draw and resolve, but anything that stays in your threat area will have that skull icon, so you can easily know which one is staying with you.
We have a question here, projected release date. We have to wait till after Chinese New Year, essentially, to see when the new schedule is, because they're still working on the suggestions we made, and they're finishing up the VAC trays and everything.
I think the VAC trays is the biggest thing. We want to make sure that those were done right. So those were, we probably won't see those until after the Chinese New Year.
All right, so that's our issue setup. Now we're going to get our villain set up. So we're playing against One-Liner. So she is a thematic villain for judge and jury. So
just a quick note on the issue guide that Brady was reading. That has a lot of captions during the game. Once this happens, you read this. We're not going to do that because we'll save that. We don't want to spoil it for you guys. But every issue guide has all the narrative for the issue, so you can kind of read along as you play through them.
Yeah, and those are they'll have little anchor text. Like usually it's when a scheme is resolved. When it flips over, it'll explain to you what the other side of the card is. Just because it's better to have some little flavor there instead of just guessing what's going on. So you have the villain deck is going to be the biggest deck in the game. You'll have the double-sided villain cards, the showdown side, and the scheming side. The villain's going to start on the scheming side, face up, so I'll put it over here to create the villain play area. And then this gets the... Whoops, sorry. Touched the table too much. And then we have these hidden tokens here. These prevent you from making any progress uncovering the villain. So while the villain has any number of these tokens, they cannot be solved, essentially. You can't place justice on the card, but once these are gone, you can place justice to reveal the villain and start the showdown. So we'll put those on there. This is one per scheme in play, one per player, essentially. And then normally you would remove cards from the villain deck with anything with the player count indicator. Like for example here, in a 5 to 6 player game, you'd remove this card. But for 2 players, you don't remove any.
Yeah, so that's only applicable to solo and 5 and 6 player games.
Yep.
So those are the ones that need modified. 2 to 4 is standard cards. So
I have to ask for any news on Contra. We're just waiting on the
licensure approvals
yeah.
like normal. Like
it's ready to print, but
It's unfortunate. It's been ready to go on our end for a long time now.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just waiting on the final okay from Konami, and then we'll be good to go. I'm gonna shuffle this up real quick, and then Adam can do the final setup over there. So the every bystander space gets a bystander token, and these bystanders can be replaced with miniatures with the bystander pack. But right now we'll choose the tokens, and then we'll shuffle up. I've already shuffled up the clue deck, so that's good, and create a supply of damage and justice. And I'm gonna place the villain. Oops, sorry. Shouldn't shuffle on the table there.
Not so close to the mic, though.
And then we got to place the villain. Villain always starts on the scheme panel number 1. And these are typically always numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 on the map.
So she is in the server room, and that is where my scheme is. So I'm trying to solve the server room, which is conveniently by the villain as well. So.
And then we're going to have our start space here. So heroes can start on or within one space of the start space. And then the first... now we're ready to start the game. Essentially, everything's all set up. So the first, I'll go over some special rules here, just so we know, just so you guys know what we're doing here. So special rules here: brink bots are enemy figures. Each time an active brink bot activates, it moves 3 spaces toward the elevator, which is right here, and then inflicts. Each time an inactive brink bot activates, it flips to its active side and then inflicts. So each time an active issue token moves into the elevator, it's going to be moved to this card, and that means the brink bot's been stolen by the enemy, and if there's ever 3 on here, we lose. So that's kind of the timer for us.
So we're trying to do all of our mission, defeat the villain, before too many brink bots escape.
And here's a good rules overview for everybody. So here is the mainframe card. This is special to this particular issue. So we can solve this card from any scheme panel. That's what that target thing means, right? That target indicator. It means anytime you're in a scheme panel, you can put justice when you solve on this card. You can always distribute justice for whatever's in your space, and this counts for any scheme panel. And then during your turn, a hero may discard 3 justice from this card to defeat 1 brink bot. And then if it's a phase 2 brink bot, which we'll talk about later maybe, then it's 5 justice instead. Each time an active brink bot would be defeated, it is flipped to its inactive side. Each time an inactive brink bot would be defeated, it is moved to the brink bot space nearest it, so you can knock it back. So you're kind of just trying to keep them away from the elevator, essentially. And then there's a crisis effect here we'll go over later, and there's a program effect here, which someone might be like, what's program mean? Card effects will tell you what that means, essentially.
Yeah, usually when you see a keyword, which is bold, typically card effects in an issue will refer to that and trigger it.
And some players might want to review what these scheme spaces do, but really, I mean, those will they just expedite the game, essentially. So if you know what this information here is the key element, these kind of just play off of those. So we're trying to reduce the amount of overhead you have in cards resolving. So you just do what it says whenever it says to do it, essentially. All right, so we're ready to start, and the first turn, according to our turn card, is the game round. The first turn is the villain turn. So each of us are going to, one at a time, draw and resolve a villain card, and then we'll flip over to the hero turn. So here's Adam's villain card.
So this is a ploy card. Ploy cards are basically revealed. You reveal these icons here
from left
to right, and you discard it. So this one, there is a red one, which means you're going to place 1 minion in the red scheme panel.
So here's a minion going here.
The globe icon means the villain's going to inflict or scheme.
So that means you can either choose to take damage from the villain's inflict, or the villain's going to scheme. Normally, you'd probably want to take the inflict, because scheming is what accelerates the game. So unless you're about to die, and when you die, you trigger crisis effects, which is usually worse than scheming. So you probably just want to let her scheme, or probably just take the inflict.
How much is she hitting for?
So right now, her inflict value is X, you'll see, and it says her inflict value equals the number of minions in the scheme panel nearest,
which is 1.
Nearest her. So she's got 1 minion, so she's taking 1 damage. Not too bad.
So she's shooting me from the server room. And then the last icon is a bystander.
So all the bystander spaces are full. So normally we'd place 1 on a bystander space of your choice, but Adam can't, so it's going to go here, captured. So
that is kind of an incentive to rescue bystanders, because if there's too many on the board, the villain's going to capture them instead. So,
all right, and then my card is also same thing. So getting this over here, I will take the damage. And then
you'll see the text effect has the showdown keyword. That means it's only going to trigger during the showdown.
So we have 2 captured bystanders right away. That's unfortunate. All right, so now we flip over to our hero turn, and we can go in any order we want. And your turn is limited to 2 actions, which you track with your tokens, but you can play any number of cards that you want. And I think I'm going to...
I'm going to go ahead and play this card that doesn't cost an action. Swift Justice. It's a constant, so I keep it in play. This lets me, each time I move into a scheme panel, I can defeat 1 minion in that scheme panel, which is pretty awesome.
So I have to go to the computer room to do my scheme, but I'm going to probably help you with yours first since it's so close. So I'm going to go ahead and play Jury's Duty, which is not an action. Choose a hero within 5 spaces of a bystander space, which is me, because I'm within 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to move. I'm going to move into here. And then I think I'm going to do a... I think I want to do a solve, even though I'll take damage doing it.
Well, if you want me to get that minion out of there first, I can.
Go for it.
So my first action, I think, is just going to be to move, because I can't do any. I don't have any cool movement effects. So I'm just going to go ahead and spend an action, flip my token over. I'm going to move. I'm going to move into there, and then each time I move into a scheme panel, I can defeat 1 minion. So pop that minion out of there, punched him right in the face, and then I have 1 action left. So do you want me to solve, or do you want to solve?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to play Burden of Proof. So if a card has a little action symbol down there, it means it's an action to play. This one says you may solve and then choose a hero to gain 1 clue card. So I'm going to solve. My solve value is on my hero card. It is right here, that little thought bubble, the 2. That's how many dice I roll when I solve. So roll 2 dice.
I can give you +1.
He's going to give me +1, so I'm rolling 3 dice.
That's the Jury's exhaust effect.
And I'll just roll here on the board so you guys can see. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 successes and a focus. Now, like most of our MDS games, if I had a focus token, I could spend it to make that a success. Since I don't, I get a gain of focus for later. And if you ever, in this game, it's 5 focus, right? You flip.
Yeah, 5 spins to flip.
So I'm doing 3 successes, which I put 3 on the server room.
Now you can choose, since he's in this scheme panel, he can either place Justice on the card that corresponds to it. You can place it on the mainframe. You can spend 1 to rescue a bystander, which gives him a clue card.
Which I will spend. I will spend 1 to do that.
Okay, so he's gonna spend 1 to gain a clue card.
And then I'm putting 2 on the 2 progress on the server room. And clue cards give you a little effect, but they can also give you dice. So when you have these, you can choose during a test: do I want to spend this for dice, or do I want to save it for that text effect? Clue cards are very handy. That is my second action. So after a hero does their second action, they're done.
Well, you do your threat phase.
Yeah, but gameplay pauses for a second. I do my threat phase. So my activate on my scheme card says place 1 minion in the server room and then roll 1 hero die for each minion in the server room.
So just 1.
Got a burst. If at least 1 burst is rolled, resolve the program effect on mainframe.
So it's going to activate each brink bot. So this is going to activate and flip over. So now this brink bot's ready to go.
And that's my turn.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and do a solve. Well, actually, I might go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Bandage, thanks again from us for putting all that work into that visual tutorial. People love it, and we're happy to be able to provide that as a PDF for everybody. So thanks for working with us on that.
Actually, I'm going to play this action here. We, the jury, costs an action to play. You may rescue 1 bystander within 4 spaces of you. So I'll rescue this one, and that gives me a clue card. And I'm not sure if we talked about clue cards yet. Okay, cool. So this one says you may attack, or I can get a free die. So this says, then after rescuing bystander, I can attack. +1 die if there's at least 4 bystanders in the supply. There are exactly 4, so I get +1 die. So jury's all about protecting the people. So she's all about rescuing bystanders and getting bonuses from it. So I'll be attacking this minion. I'll definitely kill him. I just want some focus. So I defeated that minion. No focus, unfortunately. And then I'll spend my last action to solve to try to get some more progress on that. Oh, by the way, when you solve, did you take a damage for... Because every time you solve, you take damage from enemies nearby. They get a free inflict because you're busy trying to solve a problem. All right, got a burst. So, and a focus. So I'm put 2 on your scheme, and that is my last action. So then my is place a minion in the control room over here, and then roll 2 dice. Please don't get a burst. Good. All right. And then now we're done. So we each draw a card, And then now we're going to draw, and now we go on to the issue turn. So on the issue turn, we're going to draw and resolve an issue card. This is my favorite part of the game because it's really all you do is draw one card, and the card will trigger all these different things possibly, but there's no other upkeep, so it's really nice. So we're going to draw this. Oh, this is easy. So every issue card has one of these bad cards in there. So this just says a crisis occurs. So crises in the game are, if you ever can't resolve a problem like placing a minion, placing a bystander, if you can't resolve something, or if a hero dies, you resolve each crisis effect in play. Normally it's just one, but some additional modular elements will add more crises in play. So this one says, activate the brink bot that's furthest from the elevator space, then activate one inactive brink bot. So he's going to activate, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, unfortunately, he's going to inflict one of us. So they're inflicting for 1.
I've taken
I'll take 1.
2. I have more health. I'll take it.
I do have healing, but all right. So that's all that one is going to be. Not too bad, but remember, if we get 3 of these guys off, then we're toast. All right, so that's that. So now we go back to the villain phase. Here's my villain card, or the villain turn, I should say.
Yeah,
So-
hopefully people won't have as much trouble learning this game. I feel like the rulebook's a little more comprehensive, with more. I think it's more visually easy to learn from, but also I think this game's a little easier to learn than Alter Quest is.
So we have offensive material here. So this is placing another minion in the control room, and you'll notice this is expediting the programming. So the more minions that get in these scheme panels, the higher the chances are they're going to start programming more brink bots to get out. So this one has a special ability. This icon here means a special's happening. So her special effect says, if one liner's on the map, she inflicts. She's not. This is the map here. She's on a scheme panel. So otherwise, place one minion in her scheme panel. So she's just calling more thugs in to help her. And her whole shtick is she's a arms dealer, so she's always supplying her minions and lackeys with guns to shoot you.
So you didn't shuffle very well. I got the same thing.
I shuffled, but there's a lot of
So
those.
I got a green minion.
That's kind of her default
and
ability.
then she's gonna go on the red. Place one minion in her panel.
Oh, yeah. So we have a lot of minions in play. Like I said, if we can't place a minion, then we're going to do a crisis. So we got to start clearing up some of these minions. So I might be flying over to the control panel.
And while
So-
this might have seemed a little slow explaining this first round for you, we probably won't explain everything as we go now, but you'll notice that there's a lot less upkeep in this game compared to like Street Masters and Alter Quest. So it flows pretty quick once you get going.
So I'm going to go ahead and play this action here for a constant card. I'm playing. So at the start of your turn, you refresh all your cards. You stand them all up. I have the shackle shot, so I can either play this for the heroic feat, which right here, discard it from my hand to get a free teleport, essentially. You just fly wherever. So all heroes have a way to get somewhere quickly, and these are pretty crucial because you'll notice there's a lot of ground to cover. But I'm going to actually...
This right here is a solve.
Yeah.
There's also a shield that lets you block damage.
and a fist that
And
helps
a fist
you.
lets you get a free attack.
Yep.
So those are feat icons that every deck has them sprinkled throughout.
So I'm going to play this for the ability, though, not for this card. I'm going to play it as an action. So when you play this card, you may immediately move to any bystander space, which is awesome because I'm going to save that bystander in the process. Because anytime you move into a bystander space, you save them. So I'm going to rescue this bystander, get a clue card, and I get a free move out of that. Then I can exhaust after rescuing a bystander or solving a peril, you may move. So I'm going to exhaust that immediately and move 1, 2, 3 into this control room. And then I'm going to spend my other action to attack, I think. Yes, so what I'm going to do here, actually, am I within 1, 2, 3? I'm within 3 spaces of that. So I'm going to play this. This is not an action, but I'm going to play this card as a constant. I could play it for a free attack, but I'm not going to because I want to play it here. And it says if I'm within 3 spaces of a bystander space, I get a +1 die to my attack. So I'm going to spin
We
this.
should
as
also
an attack.
clarify clue cards can only be spent on your roll, not other people's.
Right.
Unless a card effect tells you otherwise.
Right.
So I can't give him my dice.
But you can choose to spend them before or after you roll dice. So you don't have to like gamble saying, you can wait to see what you get. So I'm going to roll 3 dice to attack these minions. I got 2 of them, so 2 of them are gone. And I get another focus. Actually, I'm going to spend that focus to clear them all out because they're getting annoying.
Normal minions have 1 health. That might change if you're using special minions.
Okay, so that's all I have. That's all my actions. So my scheme says to place a minion here, roll a die. Oh, I got a burst. So this one's activating.
By the way,
1,
did I
2,
didn't
3. Better hurry.
did you draw a clue card when I did this card?
No, I did not.
Well, then give it to me then.
Here you go. Time to spare.
Okay. I think I might go ahead and solve real quick for an action. Wait, how much damage would I take? 3?
Yeah, if you solved it right now, you would take. Actually, no, you would take 1, 2, and then hers is 2 because it's this.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and
So you
attack.
take
I'm
4.
attacking then for my first action. They have no defense, right?
Yeah, they're just 1 hits.
Oh, I got a critical, so that's a success.
And
it
again,
explodes.
if we actually were fighting, doing damage to other things, he could sprinkle the damage wherever he wants because you don't have to choose a target. You just choose a space you're in, and you're in this space here. So anything in this space he could damage right now.
Except her.
Yeah, so we can't damage her yet, but you killed both of them, so.
All right, so I defeat those minions, and I think my second action is going to be to solve. I'm going to solve.
Now remember, if you can place any progress on this, we could stop this from happening.
We'll see. We'll see what I can do. I'm going to use this trail of evidence for 2 extra dice. So I'm doing 4 dice, and then I can draw a clue card after this. Get rid of that. Let's get some explosions here.
They're called bursts. No bursts.
No. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spin this focus to make it 4 because I can get it right back. So 4 successes.
If you place 3 on here, because you're not solving that anyway, so if you place 3 on here, you could prevent this from.
All right, so give me a 5.
So you can discard these ones on your turn. Discard 3 of these to defeat 1 Brinkbot. So each time an inactive Brinkbot would be defeated, flip it to its inactive side. So it's just inactive right there. And if we defeat it again, it's going to go back to its start space. All right. So,
And that was. Did you do your threat phase?
I did my threat already.
So
you're
now it's
placing
my threat. So
Roll 1 die.
place 1 minion in the server room and then roll a die. Nothing.
All right, good. So now we are each going to draw a card, and then we're going to go on to the issue phase, or issue turn. I keep calling it phases. It's turns. And then we have eccentric genius. So this is one of my favorite characters is Crabman. Sorry here. So it says if Crabman is in play, he activates. So people are like, who's Crabman? You don't know. It could be one of the other sides of a scheme card, but right now he's not in play. So Crabman's not in play, so we do the otherwise effect. So the villain's going to scheme. All of these cards will either make things harder for you or let the villain scheme, essentially. So the scheme effect says here, if there are no Brinkbots in these spaces, the villain's going to advance. So the villain just advances here. What's that say when the villain is there?
When the villain advances to this scheme panel, place 1 issue token on the Brinkbot space nearest it.
So nearest it's here. So he's so one-liner's activating another Brinkbot. So essentially,
It's actually fine for me because now I can scheme without getting hit.
Yeah, but
By
now,
the way, I took another damage.
But now the villain's closer to. Okay, so that's the issue turn. So now we're back to the villain turn.
I'm going to use that
My
clue
villain
card
card.
to heal.
Another offensive material. That's not good. So here and then placing another minion. So she's just getting more minions.
And I'm getting reloaded. Blue gets a minion, red gets a minion.
Next.
And then the special. Each hero suffers 1 damage for each peril on the map. If no peril is in play, each villain has their own kind of peril. We haven't drawn a peril yet, so there's none on play. The topmost peril card from the villain discard pile, if able. So there is none, so we're good there. No peril.
Can't reload.
So minions are overrunning a lot.
So back to the start of our turn. So we flip our action tokens back over, ready all our cards, and we have to attack some things. Let's see.
Do you have focus?
I have no focus. I have a card to give me.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack real quick. I'm going to get encouraging lead to get 2 extra dice so I can get rid of these minions. Yeah, they're all dead, and I get a focus. Give me a focus.
You don't have the card out that lets you get clues for defeating any enemies, right?
Not yet. I think that after... Oh, I could have gotten that. I think my other action is going to be to solve, so do you want to do something before that?
No, go ahead. I can't do much.
I'm going to play this card right here. It's an instant. It doesn't cost an action. It says, choose a hero to discard 2 focus to gain 1 clue card, which I will do. So 2 focus.
There. Focus pile.
Give me clue card. All right. Now Judge is going to do her basic actions. She's going to solve, gaining +1 die if you have at least 1 clue card, which I do. So Judge is really good with clues. She wants to have clues a lot.
She's a detective.
So I'm solving with 1, 2, 3. No focus, so I get 1 back. So 3 is going to bust it.
All right. So whenever you finish a scheme, you discard one hidden token from the villain, so you're 1 step closer to uncovering the villain.
And then I'm going to flip the card over, which let's see what happens when I solve the server room. I found Dr. Vivian Graham, bystander.
And this is when you would read a little flavor text introduction to what this card does, but you can just...
And it says, place Vivian's token in the control room. Vivian cannot be rescued. So you can spin an action. Bystander. There's an action option here that says if you are near Vivian, you can gain 2 clues. So you can just ask her some questions. And then she has an activate effect.
Which I will do right away, actually. I'm going to spin an action. I'm going to gain 2 clues. Is it 2 clues?
2 clues.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'll definitely do that. So thanks, Vivian. All right, so that was your last action?
I have to activate her now, right? Because
yep, if you're done with your actions.
Discard 1 P Justice from this card, or resolve the program effect on mainframe.
Uh-oh, she's getting
so
pressured.
We want to put progress on her.
Yeah, you're trying to help her she's getting pressured to do the programming by the villain.
Anytime you see this icon right here, this means you can put progress on it, and it's usually used for something the card says.
So each of the program effect just programs the brink bots, so both of them are activating. So they both stand up. They would both inflict, but no one's nearby right now, so they won't inflict us. Okay, so that is my turn. I'm going to go ahead and do my free attack because I have too many guys there. So I'm going to get a free attack. I get +1 die. Get rid of both of those. And I will solve. Let's do... I'll do an action to solve. I'm going to spend... So I have 2 dice. I will spend...
Yeah, the card flipping thing is really cool to have a simple way that makes it feel like the game is progressing and changing, the story's evolving. It really gives you that comic book feel, which is what I really like about it.
That was not a great roll. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to gain these 2 focus after this roll, but I'm going to spend this to roll 2 more dice. I want a burst or 2. Ugh, dang it. So I'm getting a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2 focus. So,
and as you can see, like most of our MDS games, extra dice are...
How many does she need?
To
avoid that effect?
1p.
So just 2?
Yeah.
So I'll put 2 on her, and I'll put 3 on my scheme. 2, 3. So I am taking a damage also, just the 1 damage from one-liner. And I think I might actually... spend this. Like I said, I already have this in play. This is a unique card, so I can't have more than 1 copy. So now this card is mostly just good for this. So I'm going to use that.
She can swing
to swing over here and rescue a bystander because I want more clues.
And it also makes more room for bystanders to come out.
Yeah, and then I have an ability here. After you rescue a bystander, you may move, and I'll go 1, 2, 3 back to where I want to go. And what else can I do?
The move action is always 3 spaces unless something says otherwise.
That's all I can really do, unfortunately. Actually, I could move again, and I'm not really doing much with this card, so I'll probably just go back.
Can't you throw a jury star at that rink bot?
Which one? Oh, no, I have to be within 5, though. Attack within 5. No, I know. I have to be in a bystander space, though. Oh. If you are in a bystander space, you may attack targeting a space within 5 spaces of you.
Well, you could have gone to this one instead of that one.
Oh, yeah, I'll do all of that. So,
1, 2,
instead
3,
of moving
4.
then.
So she swung and then changed her mind and swung that way instead.
Yeah, so if you're in a bystander space, you may attack. So I'll attack 2 dice, or 3 dice. Another focus. Cool. So he's defeated. All right.
So again, she's got cards. All her cards are about bystanders, and that let her use a ranged attack if she was in a bystander space, like she's protecting that bystander.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and spend this card to move. 1, 2, 3. And then that's all I can really do. I'll spend this clue to draw a card. Oh, perfect. Cool. Okay. That's all I can do. So now my effect is placing 1 in the control room, rolling a die, hopefully not getting a burst.
Good. A minion or a bystander or a minion?
Sorry, that was supposed to be a minion. I grabbed the wrong token. There we go. All right. And then now we each draw a card. And the issue turn says reprogram. So activate 1 brink bot for each console in play. There are no consoles, so the villain schemes instead. So what's the scheme effect there say?
Is the console these things?
It's mine, actually.
Oh, yours.
What's this?
So she says, if there are no brink bots in a brink bot space, there are.
Yep.
Otherwise, resolve the program effect on mainframe.
So this is going to activate 1, 2, 3, and then this activates All right, so next time you see, she would advance again. So the villain wants to get all those brink bots off their start spaces. So now we're gonna go back to the villain turn. Here's your villain card.
Okay, green minion. Villain's in a scheme, which means.
Do you want to take? You can take the inflict if you want, which is just one damage, right? Or yeah, 1 damage, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. And then
bystander.
Bystander.
And then my card is red minion.
As you can see, there are very few cards that come and stay in play in this game. Mainly, it's perils and lackeys. Lackeys are like every villain has like a henchman. We call them lackeys. They're like really tough minions that will walk around the map doing things.
Oh, this one sucks on point. She's gonna place 1 minion in each panel that has no minions, so just that one. And then if no minions are placed this way, but there were, so all right,
That's actually good. That was a good time for that.
Yeah. All right, so now it is back to us. Ready your cards. Flip your tokens over.
Hello.
All right, so I have I still need to get 5 on mine. Let's do. I'm gonna play Limber Gymnast for an action. This just gives me new exhaust abilities. 2, 3. I will exhaust this to move 2 spaces. 1, 2. I can't go there. I'll go there. And then I'll play this card. Actually, no, I need to get back to where. Yeah, I'll do this. All right, so play an action to weed the jury. You may rescue 1 bystander within 4 spaces of you. So I'll rescue this one, get a clue card, and then attack, getting +1 dice if there are at least 4 bystanders in the supply. There are.
As you can see, when you play with jury, you don't need to worry about bystanders at all because she'll take care of all of it.
So knocked him out, and then I get to move also. So I'll move. 1, 2, 3, and then actually no, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's all I can do really. So my threat is placing a minion. You gotta help me solve this problem over here, dude. Oh, burst activating. So this one activates. This one punches me. So I'm taking a damage. Actually, I'll reduce that. So I'm just not taking any. All right. That's my turn.
My first action is going to be to play this card. Give me a clue card. Oh, yeah. How much do you need to solve that?
It's got 5 left.
One, two, three. I can't get there. What's going on there? So I can play this Trail of Evidence to get a free move. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I might as well just go here and try to defeat this Brinkbot. So I'll do a punch. Are they considered minions?
They're enemies. They're enemies.
I won't get my free clue card, but I'll attack. Burst. So 2 hits and a focus.
So he's knocked down.
And then I got
it.
And that's all I can do. Then Vivian Graham's an activate. Discard 1 P Justice. Goes away. And that's it.
All right. So draw a card. Oh no, that'll help this next turn at least. And then now an issue card is Buying Time. Discard 2 Justice from Dr. Vivian Graham. If unable to, the villain schemes instead. So
the villain's scheming. If there are no Brinkbots in Brinkbot spaces, the villain advances.
So when the villain advances to this scheme panel, place 1 issue token in the scheme in the Brinkbot space nearest it. So
as you can see, as the villain advances, things crank up in difficulty. So she's already on this 3rd scheme panel. So we gotta hurry up.
Gotta juggle these 3 Brinkbots. All right, so now the villain turn. I'm gonna do my villain card. I got a heckler. Here's our first peril. So these are kind of like traps or like, just obstacles. And there's going to be a peril there, and it's a box of bullets. So when it activates, the hero nearest this peril must either suffer 3 damage or defeat 1 bystander from the map. That's brutal. Losing bystanders permanently removes them from the game, so it's nasty. It means more crises can trigger.
Now we have our first lackey, a red hired gun.
So
they spawn on the red.
instead of we have 1 one hired gun mini.
By the
so
way,
unless
I was
You know he goes
accidentally
here.
I was accidentally coming out of that, so
Oh, that's
I would have
fine,
been
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
it's usually the same amount of spaces, but
1, 2, 3. Okay.
so lackeys will always go to the scheme panel because they're guarding that scheme panel.
All right.
And normally they'll have the colored base, but we just have the one miniature.
So it's our turn, right?
That was your villain card. Yeah, villain
So
card.
I'm going to
stand
go
everything
ahead and move. I'm going to go 1, 2 to come in here, and I can defeat this guy because of my card. And then I can solve. I'm going to solve for free without spending an action by using this card here. It's got a solve icon. So I'm going to solve, and I'm going to get 2 extra dice on this solve. So I'm doing 4 solve right now. So I got a burst. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a focus.
That'll do it.
Is it 4 exactly?
If you do 5, if you spend the focus.
If I spin the focus?
Yeah, because you need 5.
Okay, so I can't put any on Vivian.
Well, you have another action, don't you?
Yeah.
And you just take the.
So I got a clue card for solving that?
Yeah, take 1 damage. All right, so when this flips over, we have automated sequence. This is the consoles. When this card is flipped, place this card in the issue play area and place 1 issue token in the control room. So issue tokens in scheme panels are now consoles right here. So limit 1 console per scheme panel. Each time this problem is solved, discard each justice from this card and remove 1 console from the scheme. That's 4. So these consoles are automating the sequence, so now it's going to happen more often. The brink bots will activate more often. So we want to get rid of those consoles, and it costs 4.
So I should
Justice.
solve again then?
If you can, it'd be great. Before you do, though, I'm going to play my local assistance to try to get rid of this heckler. So I'll exhaust this to get a +1 die. Got it, and a focus out of it. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 more, and I can become focused. So I got rid of this, and I get a clue card, and I have something that says, after rescuing a bystander or solving a peril, you may move. Which I want to move. Do I want to move, or do we want to stay there and get the brink bots, or just go for the villain? 1, 2, 3.
A question about that and Brexit. That is a question for Quartermaster, and they are working on that, I believe. I'm not sure of the details myself, but they're a logistics company, so it's probably one of their top priorities right now is figuring out the best way to handle that. But they have hubs all over the place, so that's a question for them. And as soon as we have the information, we can pass it on. But I would maybe reach out to Quartermaster and ask them what their plans for Brexit are as far as all their Kickstarters go, because we rely on them for fulfillment. We just use them as our fulfillment partner. So it's really all up to how they want to handle that.
I'm just going to fly into here. So I have 2 actions I can spend, both to just start solving. Oh, here we go. Oh, by the way, I forgot to discard this last hidden token. So now we just have to get 14 justice on. That's it. I can play this, though, to put 3 justice on that card immediately instead of having to solve her. So there's 3 there. It can be any card.
I was gonna say you could do it.
I could put 1 on each problem, which would be 1, 1, 1, and plus her. Let's do that. It's probably more impressive. So this card, it lets you put 1 justice on each problem in play.
All right, I can spend my next action to do a solve, and I'm going to do my basic solve, which gives me a +1 die, and I'm also going to play this Wise Counsel card, which gives me another +1 die. So I'm rolling 4 dice. I'm taking a damage because of the minion.
It's a lot of focus.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes, and I get 2 focus back. So 4 successes distributed how I want. So I'll put. If I put 3 on there, that's all of it.
You want 1 on her, right? And oh, you're not even close to her. Never mind.
So I can either completely solve that, or I can put 1 on her and 3 on that. Wait, I have 4, so I can do it. So I put 1 on her, and I'm putting 3 on that.
Yep. So when this problem is solved, discard each justice from this card, remove 1 console from the scheme panel, and that hero still gains a clue. So luckily that'll keep that. Next time the crisis triggers, more consoles will come out, but right now we're safe. So,
and I think that's it. She loses her progress, but at least it doesn't trigger. And then the hired gun activates. Move 3 toward the nearest bystander on the map. Then you must discard 1 focus, or hired gun inflicts you.
You have
I have focus. So
What do they hit for? 3? Yeah, they're pretty nasty. Okay, so I will go ahead and do a attack.
now when they move into bystanders, they capture them and it goes to the villain. So
No, it goes to the nearest scheme panel.
nearest scheme panel.
Yep. I believe. Actually, wait. No, I think we might change. I'll
I
double
think
check
I
that.
think it was the villain.
It's probably the villain now. So I'm doing 1. I will spend 1 to defeat 2 minions. It's a little better, I guess. See, the interesting thing about one-liner is her attack is equal to the number of minions. So if I was to solve there, it'd be 3 plus 3. So that's 6 damage, 6 hit for, and that's like, that would kill me just for 1 solve. So now at least it's only going to be 2 damage, so I can deal with that. I guess I'll just do a solve because I can't do much else. We need to put as much on her as possible. So I will just solve. That's an action. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to attack again just to get rid of some minions. So here's, plus I need focus. There's 1 focus back. And then I will just attack him, or just try to solve.
Question about the rulebook. No, the rulebook for Hour of Need has been locked in for a while now. We've shown it multiple times, and then on the Kickstarter, we haven't actually gotten any much feedback on it as far as troubles with reading it and learning the rules, stuff like that. I feel like it's better rulebook than the Ultra Quest rulebook.
This rulebook,
yeah.
This rulebook's a masterpiece. I mean, just no. I'm really.
It's definitely more verbose than Ultra Quest. Ultra Quest, we try to keep it very lean, which I think is a fault. It's harder for people to learn. So this one is definitely more robust as far as.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of visuals, and compared to Ultra Quest, which was our first. Ultra Quest was the first project with the new team we had assembled. Since then, we've done a couple projects. So Hour of Need is a result of a lot of that stuff, coming in. But the visuals in the rulebook is just, there's a lot of visuals and a lot of explanations, a lot of call outs. And we had to relearn the game because we took so much of a break from it. And the rulebook, I was just really impressed with it personally. So I think people will be pretty pleased with it.
Well, I'm pretty sure we shared the final version.
I think so.
You can check it out yourself and see for yourself.
And I took another damage because of the stupid solve. So that's all I could do. Luckily, I have no threats to resolve right now. So just drawing a card. I'm done with our turn. And might as well just gain another focus, I guess. Oh, that flipped me over. Cool.
That's what I needed.
I'm focused. So that might help. All right, so now our issue is
And I forgot that
reprogram.
we made it so when you get the 5th focus, it's automatic, right?
Yeah, the villain schemes.
It's automatic.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you get your 5th focus, you automatically flip to your focus side, and you discard that 5 focus.
So these are all activating. 1, and then 1, 2. Uh-oh, we got 1 out. So 2 more of those. If this gets out and this gets out, we're done. So we have 1 that escaped. One-liner has 1 a brink bot recruited. Now back to the villain turn.
Another heckler, blue.
A blue heckler is going here. And then we have a staggering hook. So this is just going to be another blue card.
This one was Hour of Need was designed back in 2018, 2019.
Oh man, I forget.
Feels
was
like forever ago.
no, it was actually just yeah, it was the 2019 after Gen Con is when we started the final development leg of it.
Yeah,
2019
it's been a
because
long time.
2020 was canceled Gen Con, so it was the last actual Gen Con we had. So this one's placing another bystander, which is good. I need a bystander. All right, so back to us. I'm going to move.
How much do we need to solve her?
I'm gonna go 1, 2. She's got 10 left. Solve that or gain that bystander. Exhaust this to move back into here.
I forget how we defined enemy in this game.
Enemies, pretty much anything. Enemies, brink bots are enemies.
With health value, is that how you define it though?
Well, the targets. What do you mean?
Like to exhaust one enemy in a hero's threat area.
That's an
So
enemy.
I'm just saying, like lackeys, villains, those are.
Villains can be any enemy can be exhausted. Yeah. So I'm gonna play. I don't want that card.
I'm not sure what to do.
I'm gonna go ahead and just solve some. Well, I need to get more bystanders. Dang it. I'll just try solving.
She's so far away from me.
I'll spin my card, so I'm gonna get 3 dice here. Oh no! Oh, here we go. What is this? What is that?
Here's the ghosts of Versailles.
What the heck?
Here we go again.
Just pause it.
How? What happened?
Your Siri was talking to you.
I didn't. That was bizarre. Okay. Thumbs up on my iPad. Okay. So I think I'm caught up with the questions here. So I'm gonna spend my action to do this. Rescue any one bystander, which I'll rescue this one. This is close to this guy. Good clue. Oh, 2, 3 more dice. So I'm throwing 6 dice right now. And then you may attack or solve. I will solve. So that's a justice. I'm going to track it with this to reroll.
I guess I'm gonna move.
All right, so I'm doing 1, 2, 3. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 justice honor. And I'm taking a damage. I'll block that damage though. Then flip this card.
Can you block these things from moving in?
Yeah, but every time it tries to move it inflicts you
That's
for
fine.
damage. So, all right, that was something I strategically designed because this one you can block that door, but you can't do anything else. And if you run out of cards here, you lose. So it's kind of like
I'm just moving in to punch it.
all right. So that is my first action. My next action, I'll just solve again. I have 2 dice. Just 2. So it's down to 3 left. Where's the 10?
I'm using this free punch here to attack this thing
Take another damage.
with an extra die. So give me 3 dice. Burst. Come on, give me a focus, man. All right. I have 1 action left.
Can you put 3 justice on her?
If I attack it again, it goes all the way back.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get there I can't get there. I might as well just
Just buy
attack.
some time
I'll
then.
attack it again.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
All right, so it goes back here. Awesome. Is it the nearest? Yeah, the near. I think that's always nearest it. Yep.
She's resolved the program effect on mainframe.
So they're all activating. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I didn't realize this. She moves to the scheme panel with the most minions. Hired gun is activated to move 3 space toward the nearest bystander on the map.
Which one? Oh, bystander. 1, 2, 3.
And then discard 1 focus or it inflicts me out. I have a focus. Heckler. The hero nearest this peril must, which is me, must suffer 3 damage or defeat 1 bystander. I think we should defeat a bystander. Remember I said that.
It's out of the game. It's out of the game.
Judge threw a bystander under the bus.
All right, so that's everybody. So we draw a card. Oh, finally, I got a better solve thing. Okay, so now we're doing an issue card.
There's a question about the stock on the website. So we are in the process of confirming how much stock we have in each hub around the world. But at the same time, we're trying to optimize our online store. So we're kind of working out the kinks in that. Anybody who placed orders, there's been a delay with Quartermaster fulfilling those. But if you placed an order before the stock went out, your order has been submitted. And there is a delay for processing the orders, but it is going through that process right now.
So we only have a maximum of 4 turns left. We only have 3 cards left in the issue deck. If we have to draw a card and we can't, we lose. So the Crabman card just got drawn again. Crabman's not in play, so he just instead activated all the villain schemed instead. So Adam got punched.
How
And
much
now,
did you do it?
Just 1 damage, yeah. So you have another hired gun. So now
Oh my goodness.
we'll have to use our stand-ins. These are the old versions of the guys from the demo kit. Where's the green? There it is. And then we'll replace this just to make it clear, the red one. And then my card is a hired gun. It's not. They all waited till the end to come out and play.
They're ready for the showdown.
All right, so now everyone stands their cards back up and flip your tokens over, and I can probably clear her out now. I'm gonna play this to heal. Cost me an action. I'm gonna need that after this solve, I think. So I will. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just solve for 2. Come on, bursts. Yes, I got a burst. A burst and a hit. One more. Focus. I'll spend a focus. So she is solved. I get a clue. Now here's what happens. So now we've solved the villain. Now the villain's gonna remember the enemies will inflict after you solve. So there's an enemy here who does what 3 plus one-liners 4. I'm taking 7 damage right now. So one-liners going to the board here.
Can you
So
cancel
the
it?
showdown is starting. I can reduce it by 2, so I'm taking 5.
We pick where she goes.
Yeah. Any space near that.
1, 2, 3. I can get there.
Okay, so I revealed her. I need to take some guys out, I guess, though. I get a free attack. I'm gonna get a free attack with 3 spaces. So I get +1 die. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spin this for a free attack. I'm getting 3 dice. I'm trying to get
Now
this
in this
lackey
game,
out of the way.
in this game, when you get defeated, the game's not over. Unlike
Yeah.
other MDS games, basically you resolve crisis and then your hero is like reset. Your hero that got defeated.
All right, so I did 2 damage
So it
to
escalates the game, but it still goes on.
doing 3 damage to the hired gun, and he has.
Why not her?
Should I?
I mean, she's how you
But
win, right?
he's doing 3 damage every. I'm gonna get smoked.
But he's not going for you.
He will too.
He's got as long as you have focus. Let's just see if we can kill in one turn. Can you move me at all?
All right, so I did no. So I did 2
Maybe
damage
maybe we'll
then.
be able to.
So I did 2 damage. But now we got before I deal the damage, though, we have to reveal the showdown effect. Showdown is one liner immediately afflicts. 4 damage knocks me out.
Okay, so we get to see a hero being defeated now.
So I got knocked out. So I'm off the board. Resolve the crisis. Activate the brink bot furthest from the elevator, which is this one. 2, 3. You're taking a damage. And then for each console, then place one console in a scheme panel if able. We'll place it in mine, or the one I was in. We'll put it over. I don't know. It's probably not even worthwhile. Let's put it here. And then I'm knocked out, so that's all I can do.
Well, this is not going to end well, I don't think. So all I can do is move and attack. So is there something else I should do? Should I just attack those 2 brink bots next to me instead?
Maybe. it's a tough call.
Ooh, not good. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do. So I'm going to attack once. At least I got it. 2. My brink bot's defeated. Flips it over. The other one. Burst. So I defeated it. And then I have to activate all this stuff. She has to do the program effect.
I have to do my hired gun. He's gonna capture that. And then I can't take the damage.
What's the program effect? Activate each brink bot,
Yeah.
so they just stand up
Yep.
and then inflict me.
Yep.
So I'm taking 2. And then hired gun is going to go towards the bystander on the map, which there are none. Where's he going if there's no bystanders on the map?
There are none. So
So he just stays where he is. Then I discard a focus or he inflicts me for 3. I cannot, so I'm taking 3. Watch me get defeated too here. Heckler, the hero nearest this peril must either suffer 3 damage or defeat 1 bystander. There are no bystanders, so I take 3 damage. And the same thing with this guy. He's going to shoot me for 3 more. So I am defeated.
So an important note here, real quick. So if you got defeated, so these guys both leave, so we lost.
Why do they leave? Because of the crisis?
Yeah, that's the correct when you do get defeated.
Oh, man.
So,
So that was brutal.
A quick note here, just so everyone knows how the defeat works. You remove yourself from the map, so you're not really in the game, but you still resolve your threat phase. But stuff like this, where it says, then you must discard 1 focus or hired gun inflicts you. You're not in the game, so that effect is not resolved. So you're kind of immune to that kind of stuff. But they'll still hang out there because they can still capture bystanders.
That was a bad combination. I fought those brink bots off, and then they activated and killed me, and then ran off the board anyway. Because when you get defeated, you activate the crisis, and the crisis activated each brink bot, so they escaped anyway. If I would have thought that through more, I probably would have done something else. But I still don't think we would have won that one. That was pretty brutal.
If you can't die, how do you lose? So, for example, the
Yeah.
issue will always have a loss condition, but also if you have to draw an issue card and you can't, you lose. You
Yeah,
run out
so
of time.
you have a time limit, and you also have the enemy's objective that they're trying to accomplish. Because superheroes don't die;
That's
they
one
just
thing we
fail
wanted to
their
make sure
mission.
that was like kind of the theme behind this game was you're not, you're like superheroes are super powerful, so you can just go like put a villain through the wall and end the game. So we don't want it to be like just a whole war of attrition. It's more there's just lots of different things to manage.
It's more
saving
about
people,
story
yeah,
and-
saving people, solving problems. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of with this design, and we talk about this a lot because we're both really proud of this game, but a lot of our other designs, we have a lot of like stalling mechanics where the game essentially just kind of stalling you out and giving players things to do, which is fun. But this game, literally everything is progressing the game. Every element in the game is progressing toward a crescendo, essentially. So, the issue deck really is tightly bound to just having a timer built in, but also it's always progressing these little stories that are going on.
And as you can see, you can do a lot of things. There's a lot of freedom on your turn. You have a lot of power as a superhero. You can do a lot of things for free. You can play cards without costing actions, things like that. But as you can see, we still lost because there's that, you're heroic. You're doing really cool things, but the game has a hard timer, and the objectives, you got to keep on top of them. But yeah, as Keith mentioned, this is exactly how like a comic book would go, where we lost. The brink bots got out, but that kind of leads to a story like, oh, well, what's one liner going to do with these brink bots, and you have to go stop her the next day. That's kind of the feel we want to go with the game.
You almost imagine if there was a campaign expansion of this game, what it would look like.
Yeah, that'd be cool to do someday. Is if this game is received well, people like it as much as we do. We have all kinds of cool ideas to expand in the future. Like I said, we've said this many times. This is our favorite MDS game we've done. We hope other people feel the same way when they get it. Even though it was our lower funded one, I think it was just bad timing and things like all those little elements about it. But the game's
Marvel
really
Champions
fun.
is the problem. Marvel Champions came out.
So yeah, I guess hope you guys have a good idea how the different issues can play. We'll probably do more of these going forward if people want to see a specific issue. We're more than happy to take that feedback and try to play as many as we can. We are hoping to play a lot with the production copy when we get it. So that's kind of the goal. Let's see if I missed any questions before we leave off for the day. I think cut them all. Yeah, I'm sure she just wanted the brink bots to go, clean her house or something.
Yeah, nothing major.
Yeah, thanks.
But that's one important thing too. Is the cool thing about this game was you have these there are these characters, like for example Dr. Vivian Graham. She was a stretch goal. We were gonna have a miniature for this character to be a special bystander, so you could use her any game you want. But also if you're playing this scenario, you'll have the miniature for her when she comes out. Same with Crabman. He was gonna be a nemesis, so I'm not showing this.
Yeah,
the cameras
they can't see that.
Yeah, so Crabman's an iconic character where we were gonna have a miniature for him, and you could add him to as a nemesis to any game you play. So everything in this game is made to kind of just expand the universe a bit and just add a lot of theme and character. And that we do have some of that. Like for example, we have Lox Lee. He's a character that pops up like Crabman in the Century Heist issue, but you can also have him as a nemesis in any game you want. And the way nemesis work is that's how the game scales from 5 to 6 player. Instead of having these schemes, because there's only 4 per issue, but if you're playing 5 players, that 5th player just brings in a nemesis that functions like a mini boss, has his own little side story scheme. So very flexible, lots of thematic stuff we could do with the game. So hoping it does well.
Yeah, this combination, I think one-liner's more of one of the more straightforward villains.
About damage. That's one-liners, probably the strongest damage dealer, because a lot of the other villains are just buying time. They're just sending out their minions to mess with you, to waste time. But one-liner is all about just throwing damage at you and shooting you.
It's always hard for us to judge the difficulty of specific combinations because so many different factors go into that, like which hero you're playing as, which heroes, what group of heroes you're playing as, all kinds of different factors that go into the difficulty.
It's the library. It's kind of glary, but
I mean, I can show the overhead combo.
yeah, that's the flip side of the board.
The back side of this board is the volume. What is it?
Volume 36. Yep. It's a dark tome that opens up a portal to the Astralacy, which is kind of this cosmic interstellar dimensional gateway. It's all kinds of different worlds.
Yep. So we will plan to do more of these. we'll take requests about which villain issue combinations people want to see, which heroes they want to see in action. I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a better idea how the game plays. So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.